Welcome to this week's On the Shore. I'm Michelle.
I'm Merle.
And this is our special guest, Katie Dean from Movement Mortgage. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming. One thing that we want to talk about is Merle and I took a field trip to the Lake Club, and there are so many new things going on in the Lake Club. We thought we'd share these with you. Have you been to the Lake Club?
I have. I had a customer out there who his home was built probably 5 or 6 years ago, but very cool community.
Yes, definitely. So a few of the items that we had the pleasure of learning about is the clubhouse. They've completely redone the banquet room, which you can have social events, weddings.
I hear a lot of the guys gather there for poker and playing cards and things of that sort as well.
Yes, so it's been designed by some top designer. So it's pretty amazing. The colors are all new and improved. The indoor and outdoor bar area. That's something that is new, and I think as they're filling up the community, they're just adding more and more to the social aspect. So they have dinner and lunch and brunch on certain days. It's not full time yet. It's particular days. I think Sundays she mentioned, third Sundays or something. There's brunch.
Correct.
So that's definitely something new. The lower level of the clubhouse is dedicated to the health and wellness, which, I mean, that's the thing right now, right? Everybody is worried about, or at least pretends to.
Everybody posts on Facebook that they're working out.
Exactly, working out. I mean,
I don't do that.
Whether it is with the wine.
No, but it's not true unless you post it on Facebook.
No, you have to, then it's real.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, there's all the wellness coaches, that sort of thing. They have an expanded fitness center and a massage and treatment room, which would be lovely.
I'll skip the fitness and go to the massage.
Right. Maybe we need one here on the shore. What do you think?
I'm in.
Yes. So 6 Hartrue tennis courts are going to be added. Bocce ball, pickleball. There is a lakeside cafe at the resort-style pool. So all of these things are going to add to the Lake Club. It's just such a beautiful place. Going in, they have like the cobblestone
like you're in a
roads.
different world.
Exactly. I was going to say that. It feels like,
yeah.
I always feel like I'm in a different world when I drive into the Lake Club.
Right.
With the cobblestones and the waterfalls and the wood, the dark.
Almost like an England type of European
Totally
something.
different.
Completely.
You don't feel like you're in Lakewood Ranch, that's for sure.
No, you don't. It's,
Definitely.
But it's convenient to town, which is cool too.
Well,
absolutely.
It is, but it's like you're stepping into something you're like, oh.
Kind of like Disney.
Without the castle. But the clubhouse is the castle now with all these new items added.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had visited some of the clubhouses to familiarize ourselves, and we had some fun and we took some photos. But there's a lot going on.
There's a ton going on. I mean, there's essentially like 7, I believe, small villages inside of the Lake Club.
Do you need your color map?
You know what? So we have over here in the Salmon, this is Genoa. Houses in here start in the 600s. All the way over here on the other side, where homes in this community here, like Lakeview Estates, they go for like 2 to 5 million, I believe it is.
If anybody's looking for information to buy or purchase or considering in the Lake Club, just comment below and we can actually get you a packet and work with you on purchasing a home.
Absolutely. Anything we can do to help.
Yes. So Katie. Yes. So the reason we have invited Katie is she's got a lot of interesting stories. We actually went to an event that Movement Mortgage put on for Preferred Shore, and we just started talking, and there's so many different stories in the industry, whether it's mortgage brokers or inspectors, and anyways.
Seems like a really boring job until we talk about it,
Well,
right?
exactly. So we've asked Katie to put together 3 of the most interesting.
I think we would call it 3 self-inflicted mortgage disasters, right?
Yeah.
So
That's good.
I've been in the business almost 20 years. August will be 20 years. So I've kind of seen it all. And so I was thinking after we talked, what are we really going to talk about? What are the best ones? So I came up with 3. You ready?
Awesome. Can't wait to hear them.
And I swear they're true. I swear they're true.
They're all true.
Number 1, I actually had a customer who we were going to the closing table, and the processor called me, and they knew that their debt to income ratio was tight. So we did the typical, don't charge up your credit cards, don't buy a washer and dryer, don't do this, don't do that, right?
Don't buy anything.
Don't buy anything.
Right.
On our way to the closing, and I get a call. And the call is that they pulled a credit inquiry and the people had financed a dog.
A dog?
A dog. A $4,600 dog that they had to have in their
Wait a
brand new
minute.
house.
What kind of dog costs $4,600?
That's an expensive dog.
It was actually a Doberman Pinscher, and I didn't even think they were that expensive. Did you?
No, I thought all those teacup type little dogs.
Well, I
you
thought
know.
my Frenchies were expensive.
Yeah.
That thing was, yes.
Okay.
So I had to call them, and I said, hi, Mr. So-and-so. Congratulations on your new pup.
Oh no.
But based on your new payment for your new puppy,
Right.
you can't close unless we pay it off. So we actually had Petland on the closing statement to be paid
Oh,
off
wow.
with a gift from mom and dad.
So was the background music like
Interesting.
bow wow wow?
I was sitting across the table from them, and I'm just
wow.
like, no,
No.
no.
What did you feel at that moment?
Oh, I was
Yeah.
irritated.
I could just imagine. It was like the heat probably went all.
You're just and thankfully I got to make the call before I got to the closing
Okay.
table. So it was like, by the way, call mom and dad, get some money to pay off your really expensive Dobie. I mean,
They were probably just wanting to celebrate their new house.
they already had 2 other dogs. You could have waited. That's
Okay.
what I said.
Yeah.
They could have waited 30 minutes and bought this dog.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
wow.
good point.
Okay.
So disaster number 2. I had a customer who I kept on finding, so we do these behind the scenes checks, okay? So there was nothing reporting on credit that was any type of a red flag, but there was this property that kept on popping up on what we call CoreLogic. And so I kept on asking about the property. He said, oh, I'm selling it to my son, this and that. So we said, okay, great. Loan was cleared to close. We had to have their closing statement from that sale at the closing table. So loan's clear to close 2 days before my closer says, I want to get prepared for closing. Great. So I reach out to the customer and I said, I need the closing disclosure from you to your son showing that it's sold. Well, he hemmed and hawed, and finally we looked up the property again. The day before, it had gone into foreclosure and the bank took it back.
Ooh.
Do you want to know what he said to me?
What did he say?
You caught me.
Oh shoot.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's not.
That's what he said. You caught me, and I'm like, that
this
wasn't what
wasn't
I'm
a game?
expecting. I was
Yeah.
expecting like, this is a big mistake. This
Right.
isn't true.
No.
You caught me.
That probably wasn't okay.
No. Seller took the earnest money, by the way. That was probably.
Well, I would. I mean.
Yeah. And
Wow.
disaster number 3.
These are very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're true. I mean, come on. The life in the mortgage world is
Wow.
just.
And
It's
I
not
thought
boring.
real estate was. I mean.
Oh, come on. You guys have seen some crazy stuff.
Well,
too.
I'm fairly new in this industry, so just over a year into being in
Buckle
real
up,
estate.
buddy. Disaster number 3.
Yes.
So we live in a homestead state. What that means is with a primary residence, both husband and wife have to sign regardless if they're both on the note and the mortgage. So I had a customer who I always ask the question, are you married? And she said, yeah, theoretically. So we go through the process of explaining.
Do you say that too?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes. Yeah, that bald guy who follows me around all the time. So we go through the process.
Bald
of
guys are not so
explaining-
bad.
Oh, I forgot you're bald.
That's okay.
Did you? Well, you missed how he lost his hair last week on the show.
I went to the beach all the time. Just toast the top of my head,
Okay.
no sunscreen, and I think it just killed all my hair.
Do you really think it's because of the sun?
I don't know. I just say that.
So disaster number 3, it's a homestead state. I tell the
Right.
customer, all right, you have to have him sign to acknowledge that you are purchasing a primary residence. Oh, yeah, not a problem. We get to the closing table and the attorney says to her, well, where's your husband? And she said, well, I don't know, I haven't seen him in 15 years. And I thought since it's been so long, you guys would just forget about it.
Interesting.
That is ridiculous. She said, theoretically, we're not married.
Yeah.
He lived in a different country that
Oh.
also did not close. So,
Wow.
Wow, those are very interesting
Yeah,
stories.
So,
tell the truth, people.
so I have to ask though. So, certain scenarios, as you just mentioned. I mean, you've done all this work. You're at the closing table.
I actually feel worse for I feel bad for the agents. They put in so much time,
Right.
and the seller, if you're going to a closing table, you think you're walking away with the check.
Right.
At that point, it's just frustrating. I think you just
Right.
go, just be honest.
It would be
Just
good
honest.
to just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because it's not
you
going to
caught
work
me.
out any.
You caught me.
Oh no.
That's a big you caught me.
Yeah. Nobody's ever said that. They usually have an excuse or like another lie to back it up. He wasn't even trying.
Wow.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Wow, I guess he really thought that was going to work.
But then I would say 99.9% of the time, it's all smooth and great and fun. But it is fun to talk about these things.
Yeah.
You're going to call me the first time that you like walk into Crazy Cat Lady's house, and I bet you're going to tell me about her.
You're not going to my house. Is there anything that you can tell us or the viewers that will help encourage them that now is the time to purchase, as in mortgage rates and how things are
Sure.
going? What do you foresee? Just give us some knowledge.
Right. So a couple things. A, always get pre-approved, and I tell everybody that simply because we don't want you guys to be out showing properties and wasting your time and quite frankly the borrower's time too. I do explain to our customers that we don't ever want them to fall in love with something that they can't afford or can't get into,
a good
because then everything lesser price point is kind of a letdown. So with that in mind, rates are incredible. We were expecting after the elections to see tick up, and then stay. And what's happened is they ticked up, and then when there was a little bit of a change in the market, and we kind of saw things slowing down, they've now come back down again. And from what we understand, they're not going to raise dramatically over the next year. So it's a great time to buy. What I can say is that a lot of people think, okay, in a year from now or 2 years from now, it makes a big difference in your price point what your interest rate is. There's a ton of programs out there for people who maybe don't have their down payment money right now. And then for those, some can pay cash and they're actually using financing simply because the money's so cheap.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I had a client that they decided to get lending rather than pay cash because it just
Deductions and things
didn't
like
make
that.
sense.
That's
and,
true.
and that's one thing that is important to us real estate agents are people like you,
Right.
any mortgage brokers, because you guys are our first line.
Right.
So if you cannot work and keep our client engaged, we can't make a sale.
Right.
So, for me, it's very important to be in a partnership with mortgage lenders, and we always try. There's a lot of different lending that offer a lot of different options.
Right.
Exactly. So some can do land, some cannot, some
Right.
do jumbo, some don't, and it's always good to have a couple in our pocket.
And not only that, having someone who can tell you that, hey,
Right.
I don't do it, but this person
well,
does.
exactly. And you did that.
I did, on a
yes,
land.
on a land.
One thing to always keep in mind is, rate shoppers and fee shoppers, things of that sort. Not to say that Movement Mortgage doesn't have
Right.
incredible rates, but if you don't get to the closing table and the money's not there, you don't close. So what's most important is having somebody with knowledge and experience to get you there, even if there is, there's a lot of internet rates and things advertised that are actually not even true. So
Okay.
knowing somebody who can guide you and help you understand that so that you feel like A, you're getting a good deal, but that also B, you're gonna make it to the closing table on time.
One of the main questions that I always get, especially for first-time home buyers, because they're working every week and they may have a little bit of money saved, but they don't have enough for down payment and for closing costs.
Sure.
Are there any grant programs available that, almost like a USDA,
Right.
you have nothing
Right.
down, right? But there's a lot of people that offer all these, I don't know. None of them ever have seemed to be true when I've looked into them.
So grant money is tough, and I will, after my experience with grant money is there's such a limited amount of it
Okay.
that by the time you go through the process, a lot of times you are let down because it's not available when you get
Got
there.
it.
Okay. But there are programs that are statewide programs. There's one called the Florida Bond. It is I've never seen it run out of money. So it's more of a guarantee for you and your customer,
Okay.
and we can reserve the money up front. So there are first-time homebuyer programs where you can get down payment assistance.
Well, that's good to know.
So those are helpful. But then also we've started partnering with people like Homes for Heroes, if you've ever heard about
Yes.
that. Homes for Heroes is fantastic. It allows firefighters, EMS, police, nurses, teachers, and veterans special benefits that can also be partnered with A, down payment assistance, and any type of loan.
Oh,
So
perfect.
there's, and when you're getting down payment assistance, it doesn't mean that you're married to one type of loan. So there are a lot of options out there.
Got it. Very
that's
cool.
good
Good
to
to
know.
know.
Yes.
Yeah, great information. Thanks so much for
Yeah.
coming in today.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
us.
it.
Do you like
And
on
this-
the shore?
It's beautiful.
Yes, isn't it?
Yes.
All the amazing things. So we want to thank you viewers for tuning in. We
Absolutely.
had definitely a good chat. We learned a lot from Katie. Any questions, all of our information's below. If you're looking and you need to be pre-approved, definitely reach out to Katie. She does know her stuff. And until next week, everybody have a great week.
Have a great week.
Oh hey, thanks for watching today's video. If you're a real estate agent or considering a career in real estate, go to exciting.af and learn more about how you can join Preferred Shore.
We've had some good one-liners.
Yeah, we can go like
Do you
this.
see this here?